About this, we're joined by Polish Consul General to New York, Maciej Golubiewski. Thank you for being on Crossroads once again.
Thanks for having me.
Explain this case against Facebook in your country. It's interesting because usually it seems that governments in the West are taking a different stance on tech giants, and they're pushing for more censorship against extremist or, let's say, controversial elements. And here we see the Polish government protecting what we call the First Amendment.
Well, it's not the Polish government, it's a historian. So it's an NGO lawsuit.
But the Polish government is taking this stance, no?
No, the Polish government is not involved.
Not involved, okay.
So I can comment on the trend, and I can comment on this particular case. I mean, I would imagine that a lot of people are concerned, just like here in the United States, with the growing monopolization of the public sphere by social media outlets that disseminate information. Poland has a very strong protection of free speech and free assembly. In Article 54 of our Constitution, actually, there is a very specific article which says that preventive censorship should not be taking place. So, in fact, yes, indeed, Polish state in its constitution is quite progressive when it comes to protecting those basic liberties, similar to the First Amendment of the United States.
You know, it's interesting because we're always talking what's the right way to tackle hate speech and violence and extreme ideologies on social media. Some people say that these ideologies should not have any kind of way to express themselves on social media platforms, but other people say that the more you censor them and you try to silence these voices, the more extreme and dangerous they could get. What's your view?
4 years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, our Minister of Digitization was trying to explain certain ideas. Basically, Facebook and other giants and other companies that operate in Poland need to obey Polish law, and I think it's the natural understanding of how one should operate one's business. So, if there is, let's say, censorship of certain views that, let's say, do not fall under, Polish law or contrary to Polish law, I think those companies need to toe the line. Now, Poland has a lot of protections against hate speech. I mean, we have a whole gamut of laws that combat hate speech, all sorts of racist hate speech, and what have you. We have a very robust protection also as a part of the European Union and the European Charter of Human Rights that we are signatories to. So we obviously combat these, but I think there needs to be, I think everybody's watching what other actors are doing and whether they're doing it kind of on their own accord or actually in line with all the laws of the land.
I also want to ask you, next week, Poland's president will visit the White House.
Yes.
One of the issues that will be discussed is a military partnership. Why is Poland interested in having a U.S. military base in its territory?
Well, Poland is a very important strategic ally of the United States when it comes to security and defense in NATO. We formed a part of what is called Eastern Flank, and NATO has made a commitment during its summit in 2016 in Warsaw that this Eastern Flank needs more protection because of certain hostile actions by Russia, most importantly. So the American administration is in talks with Poland about enhancing that military presence. We already have around 5,000 American soldiers there. We always believe that the United States is, at the moment, the only real guarantor of peace and stability in the Western world, given its preponderance of power and military strength.
Aren't you worried that this could escalate the arms competition between Russia and the West?
No. This is a regular type of initiative, and NATO, I mean, those commitments have been made 4 years ago. So we do not believe that this is an escalatory move. This is a deterrent move. United States have had a very strong presence and still have strong presence in Germany. But I think, the borders of the West shift a little bit to the East, and there are real threats. And I think the administration admires that Poland is taking a strong stance in protecting security of that part of the world by also paying into the NATO coffers.
I saw there is 2%. A suggested name for this military base, Fort Trump. I don't know if it's verified yet. I think not.
That was 10 months. Well, it's a singularly important visit because I think for the first time in a long time, the president is actually seeing President Trump for the second time in 10 months. So that was what he proposed 10 months ago, but I think we're talking about permanent or enhanced presence.
Consul General of Poland, Maciej Golubiewski, thank you so much.
Thank you.